there was this big issue in Nigeria with Nnamdi Kanu, who is British, who is also Nigerian. And then one of the big issues is about how the Nigerian court had taken his British passport, and then all of a sudden he traveled around the world with a British passport before he was arrested in Kenya. Now, we have in this summit, a summit on education, that we'll have in the same room Prime Minister Boris Johnson, we'll have President of Kenya, President Kenyatta, and we will also have President Buhari, and the big elephant in the room, I imagine, will be Nnamdi Kanu. What do you think the conversation will be like? Because in this particular case, the Nigerian government has been raising questions about the role of the British government. How did Nnamdi Kanu get back his British passport and all of those details? And then your views on, what happened yesterday and what the British government is doing in terms of its own interventions. I say it's a digression, but we'll come back to this, immediate issue about girls' education.
Well, as you say, it is a digression. I'm here to talk about the summit, which is the most important thing that the Prime Minister will be engaging with President Buhari on. And just to reiterate the commitment we're looking to from Nigeria, which is to return to pre-COVID levels of expenditure and to funding 20% of the government budget on education. On Nnamdi Kanu, all I will say is that we're on record as saying that we can offer consular assistance to British nationals, and we have requested consular access, and that's all I'm prepared to say in this interview. Thank you.
But what do you think, High Commissioner, in terms of what has transpired so far? Because, you've been quoted in the papers as having expressed opinions about the trial of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB.
No, I don't think I would know what I've said about the trial. I haven't said anything about the trial. As I said, what we have said on the record, as a dual national, we can and we often do offer consular assistance, and in this case, we have offered consular assistance to Nnamdi Kanu.
Hi, my name is Catriona Liang, the British High Commissioner to Nigeria. With the 2023 elections fast approaching, I'd like to encourage every eligible Nigerian voter to go pick up your PVC so you can exercise your voting rights. Remember, the deadline is Sunday the 29th, so hurry now and go get your PVCs to enable you to participate in the democratic process on election day. Your vote.
Why are you begging me? Catriona Liang, why is the British begging me to be part of Nigeria? Why? If they're not gaining anything, why? I ask you. Where we come from, there's something we say. I don't want. You are carrying me on the back and my leg is almost on the floor. Scratching and bruised. Please drop me. I don't want it. Britain is pretentious. You pretend you care, but you don't care. You are evil and you're wicked. You pretend. Why are you calling this meeting? Because by all of you being on this table, all these monkeys I can see here, by all of these fools being on this table, it means that the oil and gas will keep on flowing for free. But some of you are too foolish and too idiotic to understand it, because you are zoo animals. You are Nigerians. Your brains do not function properly. None of you is properly educated. I don't give a damn how many awards you may have won abroad. Pure rubbish. I don't give a toss how good your command of English language is. Pure crap and rubbish. You cannot reason. Let me ask you a simple question. Where else in the world can an ambassador gather the stakeholders in that country, lecturing them on how to run their country? Where else? You people are the ones degrading and demeaning Africa. You idiots here, useless fools. Look at them with a little white woman. Black people in this UG. God forbid. God forbid you people. As the person wrote, they can see that the center can no longer hold. That is why Britain is now publicly controlling Nigeria. Public. They're taking over the army. They're the ones now advising. But where God is punishing them is that they cannot bring white soldiers and put them on the ground in Nigeria. They cannot do it. So they're still relying on Fulani Janjaweed. They're still relying on you fools. They are using hunger to entice you to enroll or to enlist into the army. They know what they are doing because you are black, because you're foolish. You cannot understand that these people are toying with you. How many times has any ambassador in Britain called a meeting of British stakeholders to tell them how to run their country? Or to ask Scotland not to leave the UK? This UG black people, when will you ever reason? When will you, I don't know what if what is killing me is the ignorance. When I consider the ignorance of a black man, and my brain wants to explode. I'm asking you a simple question. All these idiots here sitting down, some will claim they have PhD. Why are you listening to a little white woman from England? Don't you have shame? You have no shame? They want you to be in one Nigeria so they can have unrestricted access to oil and gas. That is all. Not that they love you. Because if they love you, if they are genuine, they would have stood up to say that what happened at Lekki was wrong. The army killing innocent people is wrong. Army abducting people is wrong. Kalamad report must be investigated. Amnesty report on the massacre of Biafrans should be investigated. Zaki Biam should be investigated, or the massacre should be investigated. The persecution of Shia Muslims should be investigated. They will never do any of those things. It's only about oil and gas. And you, being the black fools that you are, this UG black, at least I give them one thing. Before white people come out to cast aspersions, they must have seen something in you. And I keep asking you this. The same way that blacks are insulted all over the world, is it how Asians are insulted? Or should I say Africans? Let me not use the word black. Is it how they are insulted? We are being insulted because we deserve it. We are useless. Let us be honest. We are useless. If we are not useless, why is it, and ask yourself, why is it after every bandit attack on a village, the army can never locate them? Why? Why is it that this little white woman, Catriona Liang, is the one presiding over a meeting telling you how to keep your country one? Does it mean that your brain cells are not working? We are telling them, you cannot keep us together by force. I want to analyze something that a very intelligent, brilliant Yoruba man wrote. Francis Ojo, or Ojo, I don't know how to pronounce it. Ojo, I think it is. Not Ojo, Ojo. Francis Ojo, he wrote, I'm going to analyze what he wrote here. And I want everybody this evening, after this very program this evening, to go back to understand, to study this program, to listen to it over and over again, to understand how foolish and idiotic black people are, truly are. How Fulani took over all of you. Francis Ojo wrote, I love this piece. In fact, after this program, I want it everywhere. I want every blogging site to carry it. I want every newspaper in the zoo to carry it so that you can see for yourselves how idiotic and stupid all of you are. You useless Nigerians. I want you to understand how foolish you are. In front of you, Fulani did not go to school. Only with cattle they are controlling all of you. Only cattle they control you. They say it's stop them. It is what they are saying is not good. It is hate speech. They call what I say hate speech, but what they have is hate action. Francis Ojo, thank you very much. I want to analyze what you wrote. Now listen. The strategy of the British, are not Fulani, the strategy of the British in Nigeria is foolproof. Yet every project they undertake invites its own risk. I'm analyzing what somebody else wrote. I will continue. The master strategist is a master risk evaluator, but the people advising the Fulani on what to do, they are not master strategists. They made a very fatal mistake. And because I did it with Janjaweed and then Achinama, what do you expect? it is clear that those who conceived this project designed it in its key elements and planned its implementation. However, they failed to factor in risk management into the equation. And this is Francis Ojo's evaluation of the project design and plans to hand over Nigeria to Fulani nations of Africa. Nigeria is going to be the homeland of Fulani people. Some of you are sleeping. You are idiotically going through life every day in the zoo, not understanding what is going on, not understanding what is happening. But today I am going to enlighten you, courtesy of this, our brother that wrote this very compelling piece. What is their plan? Before they can bring in every Fulani to settle in Nigeria, they must first of all dominate you. Secondly, they will seize your wealth and they will enslave you. They will take full control of your political power. They will take every arm. They want all the guns and bullets to be under their control. And they will deny everybody else any form of access to weapons. They will take control of every major income organ of the government. They will deny everybody else access to funds, and I'll prove it to you tonight. Finally, they will move in and take over your land and your forests. That is what has been happening in the zoo since 2015. And I want to prove it to you tonight. I will prove it to you tonight so that you may understand what life has in store for all of you in the damnable zoological republic. Thanks to our brother. What did he say here? This is their design. They will dominate you. And for Britain to give Fulani exclusive control to dominate everybody else, they started very cleverly. What they did to IPOB when we started as well, they said that the Igbo man is domineering. You understand? Britain cleverly designed that with their Fulani counterparts. Unfortunately, some Yorubas fell for it, shamefully. Igbo man is domineering. As they were telling you Igbo man is domineering, they went behind the back and we are grooming Fulani to dominate you. Do you understand it? Now, they say Igbo man is domineering. And I want mention for me how many people in the so-called stupidly named Niger Delta has oil well. Every oil well is owned 90% by Fulani. But before they were telling you Igbo man is coming to dominate you, reason, Chineke, how black people in this UG can you reason for once? I'm begging you to reason. Only once, please. Igbo man is domineering, but the Fulani owns all the oil wells. That's number one. They will seize your wealth. They have taken over everything. They have shared it. Britain can take oil and gas for free. They don't care as long as Fulani controls everybody, everything else, and they will enslave you. What do you understand as slavery? Oh, you think, until you go and start washing plates for them in the north, then you are not their slave. Let me give you a very simple example. Before Obiano was re-elected, he took off his red cap to beg Jubril to put him back into power. Do you know what is slavery? Slavery is Imo State. They started killing Fulani. Before your eyes, they claimed he's doing democracy. Do I speak this thing in Igbo language so people can understand me? Koro, before your eyes. Hope Uzodinma was not declared the winner, not the number one, not number two, not number three. He came fourth in an election. Before all of your eyes, in front of the American Embassy and British High Commission, Supreme Court of Nigeria declared Hope Uzodinma the winner. Let me tell you something. That was from that day, I've no longer talked about fake Buhari National Council, because that was the day I knew, believe you me, that the white man was right. There is something wrong with black people. I'm telling you the truth. Something is wrong with us. He came number 4. He was the 4th on the list after the contest in Imo State. They went to Supreme Court. full of learned people wearing horse wig, learned, black people without shame. When you look at them, you are looking at Satan and Lucifer. You see, as ugly as anything you have ever seen in your life. Go and look at their faces, so-called Supreme Court judges in Nigeria. As ugly as hell. Very ugly men and women. They embody everything that is evil about black people. Do you know what they did? They gave the vote to Uzodimma, Supreme Court in the court of law. Supreme Court. They asked them, but how did he win? They said they did not tally his votes very well. INEC said about 950,000 people are registered voters. How come your own tally is almost over 1 million? Where did you get it from? Shut up there. We are the apex court, Supreme Court. INEC said, no, sir. Don't be offended. The total number of voters in Imo State is less than what you are giving hope Uzodimma. They said, we are the apex court. We cannot revisit Taiwo versus Akredolu versus 1945. Supreme Court. Supreme Court of Nigeria. Simple question. This is INEC register. The people set up by law to conduct elections. They said that about 900,000 people are on our register as registered voters in Imo State. But you are now calculating for us, telling us there's nearly 1 million voters in Imo State. Are you working for INEC? Which register is that? They said, oh, we have our own list, a list given to them by APC, Fulani Janjaweed Party. That is slavery. They impose upon you whoever they want to impose on you. You are nobody. You can't do nothing. That is the meaning of slavery if you don't know. Hope Uzodimma signifies slavery and damnation upon our people. If you don't know, let me tell you. All your education is a waste. All that crap, speaking useless grammar, talking complete waste. You are a slave. You ask me how. Then I'll ask you to look at Imo State Douglas House. How can somebody who came fourth, not even second, not third, emerge as the governor of a state? Where did Supreme Court get their own voters register from? INEC testified and said to the court, you have a higher number of voters than we have on voters register. Where did you get it from? From APC government. And you claim you're a Nigerian. Yeah, I mean, we Nigerians.
All right. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to this Twitter space today. I remain Dim Justice. Please confirm that you can hear me, Ifeanyi.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Of course, the topic today is very, very clear. It's a message to the British High Commissioner, Catriona Liang, who has been publicly going everywhere around, meddling in the business of the Nigerians, both Nigerians and the Biafran people. And we are here to say no to it, send some messages to her, and make it clear that we are not going to tolerate her nonsense. Before I continue, Ifeanyi, can you give your opening remark? Thank you.
Thank you, my brother, and I do justice. Thank you, Biafra Writers of Conscience. Thank you, my brother, my own brother, Sonny Akbarawa. I can see you. God bless you for coming around. Thank you, good man. The message is very clear because it's now dawned on us that this woman has displayed his stupidity, seeing us as a lesser human beings that cannot reason for themselves. Of all the ambassadors or the commissioners, state commissioners that is in Nigeria, it's only Catriona Liang that came out, that have been running around from pillar to post, meeting governors, senators, and the northern states, the caliphate, to make sure that Nigeria is kept as one nation. This is to tell us that that they see us as lesser human beings, that doesn't have critical thinking on what we want and what we need. But we are sending a message to her, just like our spokesperson said, that she's going to be the last British commissioner representing British in the soil of the contracted indigenous nations called One Nigeria. And the good news is that Biafra is at our door post. What is left of us, the Biafrans, is to go out and do what? And grab our freedom as it comes. Thank you, my people. You're welcome to this place. God bless you.
All right, that is a quick one. Okay, please, if you have not muted, please mute yourself until you are asked to unmute. Then you can mute yourself. Good man, mute yourself. So looks like you're not. Fine, can you mute him? Can you mute him from there?
Good man is muted.
His mic is open.
It's been off for.
Okay. So what you have really spoken well. Catriona Liang, they are the British people. They are really showing us that we are nobody. We are. They don't take us as anything. They do whatever they like. They decide our future for us. They campaign openly, telling people how to get their slave card that they call PVC and whatever. They have been, visiting some parts of Biafra land, calling on people to doing a lot of things, using our traditional rulers, our town union chairmen and all that, our politicians against us. Why they dine in the north? Whenever you see them, they dine in the north. They sew the same uniform, they do whatever they do there. They have secret meetings against us. When they want to visit the traditional rulers in the north, they go to visit them. But when it comes to visiting the ones in our land, they invite them, which shows no atom of respect. So I'll begin by saying we advise British High Commissioner to deception and remove herself from Nigeria politics. We wish to let her know that the British contribute 99.9% of Nigeria's political and other problems. British government forcefully colonized Nigeria and looted her resources and traded our people as slaves. Britain selfishly and forcefully amalgamated and unwilling parallel ethnic groups into a cage called a country. Britain introduced election rigging by falsification of population census in 1964 in favor of the Northern Protectorate. It is only in Nigeria that people in a desert region will claim to be more in population than people in the rainforest region. But this was done with the help of British manipulations in Nigeria. Britain is indirectly fueling the crisis in Nigeria by taking sides with the North against the South, but in particular against the Igbos. British High Commissioner in Abuja is engineering Nigeria government and security agencies to kill and burn down properties belonging to Biafran citizens to force us to abandon the Biafran movement and struggle. British High Commissioner, you are a biased diplomat and has never been sincere in your dealings and utterances concerning Nigeria. You are not telling your government the truth about your involvement in Nigeria politics and national affairs unless they advise to do so. People have always maintained that we are not interested in Nigeria politics and elections. Biafrans our ESM members are only interested in Biafra referendum dates and nothing more. British High Commissioner, Ms. Catriona Liang, you are much involved in so much fraudulent activities going on in Nigeria. You are part of the problem, not part of the solution. You have become among the cabals who select Nigeria British loyal presidents, governors, politicians that will guarantee uninterrupted free flow of oil from Biafra land to Britain. We Biafrans wishes to advise Madam British High Commissioner to extricate herself from Nigeria's fraudulent political activities, and most especially from its ethnic and fascism politics. Yes, so this is a message to the British High Commissioner. I wish and I believe that this message will reach to her to remove herself from playing politics with our lives and properties, with our race, because we are a people, we deserve to live. I don't see any reason why Britain will be more interested in Nigeria's election than how we survive as a people. We have children, we have women, we have our wives, we have our mothers, our sisters who die on a daily basis because of all the dirty international politics that Britain is playing with our lives. We say no to that. We say no to that, and we are telling the British High Commissioner to remove herself from our ordeals, because our God is alive. They may have everything, but we have God, because one with God is the majority, and we have the majority because God is on our side. We are the people of the Most High, directly from God. We are the people of God, and nobody can put us down forever. Nobody. We are here to say no to it. We are telling British High Commissioner to remove herself from our ordeals. All right, thank you. Welcome again. Please, if you have not retweeted this, please share it to people so that more people can join as we discuss. We only have 2 hours to be here, so that this space will not be that long. Thank you very much. And I welcome our brother, Comrade Sonny Akbarawa. Please, can you unmute yourself and give us an opening remark before we continue? Thank you. Oh, looks like he's not.
Sonny, can you hear me?
Okay. They would to everyone in the house, especially the host of the space. Dean Justice, I salute you. I salute Ifeanyi, Godman, Freedom, and every other person that I may not be able to call all your names because of time constraints. We appreciate your commitment and your sacrifice and your time to engage Biafrans to know what they need to know. So as we've gathered here today, just like Dame Justice have said before, our message is very clear to the evil united devil, evil united zombies, evil united destruction, evil united contraption, evil united colony, evil united den of animals, evil united slave masters, evil united idiots, evil united morons. There is nothing united there because the only thing that they can unite is to unite people that will slaughter, rape, desolate communities, and turn everybody to slaves. That is all what their unism is all about. It's just a way of bringing set of terrorists together just to be able to kill, maim, and destroy. We are happy that the The British High Commissioner, as she claims to be, Catriona Lala, and Catriona Lion, and Catriona Liar, and Catriona Licit, we are happy that she is crying and calling on Biafrans to come and do what? To come and vote. It is a very big win to the Biafran people. And this should be the happiest moment to the Biafran people to reckon on what they have been doing. Because if you are not recording success, nobody will speak of you. Nobody will carry your matter for head waka everywhere. If we should trace history, I can't remember when last the colonies come and beg the people that they colonized and enslaved for years, just for them to come back and re-annex their slavery to continue, so that they can continue to be killing them, poisoning them, and then exploiting them and exploring everything that they have in the next 100 years again that will come. But in our own time, we are so happy that it has happened, for the whole world to see and to understand the commitment and formidability and focus and determination, concentration of the Biafran people on the Biafran restoration mandate. So it's a very big win to the Biafran people, because if you were not doing something well and standing strong, there is no how your slave masters, your your colonial oga, where they dig your grave every day, there is no how they would have been coming to kneel down and to be begging you again, say, I beg, we want to continue to enslave you. We want you to come and sign another paper for us to continue to enslave you. That is to say that since MNK was kidnapped, all of you have been remarkable. All of you have been giving them with the water. The emergence of autopilot has brought UK to this shameful position. So our message is very clear. The cry that she cried, Biafrans heard that cry, and Biafrans are happy that she reckoned on the successes of Biafrans. And we have made our stand very clear that we are not going to allow or endorse their slavery anymore to continue in any form, because we are focusing on no elections in Biafra land. So if she likes, let her bring. Yesterday I saw a news that United Nations and America and UK have supplied some weapons to Nigerian government ahead of the elections for them to be able to beef up security. I say, okay, thank you. When you get to Biafra land, you will understand how prepared it means no elections in Biafra land. Let me stop here for now, because we have everybody in the house. So thank you all for being here. And please, as you are here, we have over 100 and something here now, and more will be coming in. So please, I advise you click the share button. Click the share button, the like, so that it will pop up the notifications to every other person that may just be passing, and then the person will see the notification and then jump in and understand that we are here. Thank you very much, House.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much for that wonderful submission. My brother, Biafra Writers, do you have anything to say before we call on the people to speak?
Well, thank you, Sonny. You have really spoken very well. Thank you. As we move, because we don't have much time to stay here, please, if your mic is open to speak, please just make it brief, 2 minutes, so that you can allow others to have the same time. Please raise your hand and you will be seen and be unmuted. Thank you very much. Please, Ifeanyi, you can take it from there.
I hope I'm coming out clear.
Loud and clear.
Okay. My brother, good man, unmute yourself.
Thank you, beloved Biafrans. Thank you, our host, Biafran writers, Akparawa, Ifeanyi, and every other person on this platform. I want to say that it is just that Nigerians don't know history. They feel they have a country, and that is the reason why they feel they have a country, because they don't know history. Britain has always influenced, from the beginning, Britain influenced the election. Like Biafran writers rightly said, they made it possible for the Fulanese to have the majority. And this majority is the reason why no Southernand is able to occupy anything, any viable position in the country. Because no matter the law we make from the South, that will change the lives and better the lot of the South. When I mean South, I mean both the Oduduwas and the Biafrans. Because this majority has been given to them. They own the legislation. They own the House, the lawmaking chambers. They own it. The Fulanis own it. They have the majority, courtesy of the Britain. This has made it completely impossible for us to excel from the South. Because why I'm saying this is that no matter the law we pass, it will not, no matter the law we agree. When I mean the law we agree, I mean both the Duduwas and the Biafrans. If we come up with any constitution, any law to better our lot, it will not pass the first reading because of this barricade. The majority has been given to them. It will be drowned before the first reading is even passed. They will drown that constitution. That legislation will not stand. So Britain coming again to always influence the electoral process, that tells you something. They are not interested in our cry when people are being killed and butchered. Constantly in Nigeria, people are dying every day, courtesy of the Fulanese. They say nothing. They are quiet. But when it comes to election, you see them canvassing from one place to the other. Ask yourself, how many Africans, I'm not saying just Nigerians, how many Africans have gone to Chatham House? How many Africans go to Britain to influence their PM when they want to get the PM of Britain? How many of the Africans go there to have a say in their electoral process? But you see them coming to Africa to make sure election happens. Not just Britain, you see Americans coming too to make sure the election happens. Ask yourself, why are they coming in? Why are they interested only in our right to vote? Don't we have a right to life? Why don't they say anything when we are being killed every day? Why don't they say anything when the churches are being bombed? Why don't they come in person to make sure these things stop? But you see them always coming after every 4 or 8 years when there is an election to make sure their supermarket keep functioning, to make sure we continue to validate a system that is killing us, a system that is not working, a system that is just packaged to keep us down in perpetuity. And most of all, a system that is about to exterminate us as humans, to exterminate us as a people, to exterminate us as indigenous people, so that their supermarket can now have a very clean access without anybody interfering anymore. Biafrans, it is time to think. Oduduwas, it is time to start using our brain. So much killings, they say nothing about it. When it's time for election, they show up. They have a country, but they will always interfere in what we are doing down here. Ask yourself, why? The moment you begin to reason, that is when you start becoming a human being. But as long as you deprive yourself of reason, you have lost the stance as a human. You are less than an animal. Thank you, my brothers. Thank you.
My brother.
I stop from here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Before I call on freedom, because I'll call those that is raising up their hand first. Before I call on freedom, we have our own brother, Rafa Jere in the house. Critics News, Mouthpiece. God bless you all. Paula Bang for coming around, and our brother Simon, you're all welcome. Please, my brother, freedom, unmute yourself.
Yeah, good morning, my brothers and sisters. This is Erasmus speaking. Thank you for. Am I being heard?
Very well, very well, very well.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for putting this space together. You know, at this crucial time in our fight for freedom, we envisage that a lot of forces were going to come against us because it has to do with their interests. Starting from UK, for instance, Australia is a member of Commonwealth. New Zealand is a member of Commonwealth. And I don't see Australian Prime Minister coming to Chatham House to first of all validate their policy positions before they can contest to be Prime Minister of Australia or New Zealand. Canada has affiliation with UK. Canadian Prime Minister do not need to come to the UK to validate their position. Brazil was colonized by Portugal. Brazil don't need to go and meet Portugal to explain what they want to do in their own country. The same thing goes to America, even Ghana here. It's only Nigeria where all our presidential candidates will go and line up in UK to be telling them what they want to do for a country far away in Nigeria. So it goes to show that we are still a colony of the British. So which means Catriona Liang is like the Prime Minister of Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned. This is the time for our freedom to fight for freedom. That leads me to talk briefly about Peter Obi for those who are still deceiving themselves about Peter Obi. Breaking news now is that two main associates of Wiki, they are 8 Wiki. One is called Chris. His Twitter handle is Top Boy Chris. Has just started posting Asiwaju. The second one is Marsha Ubiozo. He has started posting Asiwaju. Politics is about interest to these politicians. Since those ones have started posting Asiwaju, it tells you the direction that Wiki and the G5 are going. So those who are deceiving themselves, especially the Igbo brothers, about Peter Obi, right from time I've always said it, he cannot come out second position in this presidential election if the election were to hold. So the only choice every Igbo or Biafran has now is to support Biafra. Because if you allow the election to hold, the caliphate they are taking over, either through a direct article or through proxy, which will be Asiwaju. We should do everything possible within our power to stop this election. Because what it's going to do for us is this. When we succeed in stopping, because right now, at this point in time, we have senators representing us. We have House of Assembly members representing us. We have governors. Now, when you ask for a referendum, because referendum is not in the Constitution of Nigeria, when you request for a referendum, they will tell you, they will direct you to go and meet your House members. They will direct you to go and meet your senators to take it to the House, knowing fully well that those senators will not be able to do that because they have corrupted them. They know they will threaten them. They won't be able to do that on your behalf. So they will direct you to them. When you cry to UN, UN will tell you to go and meet them. Now, when we stop the election from happening, it means that there will be no representative to go to. There will be no senator to go to. There will be no governor apart from Anambra. The UN now will not have the right to say, go and meet your senators to change the constitution for referendum. Because presently, the referendum is not in 1999 constitution. At that time, the only choice UN will have would be, okay, since there is no senator to go to, they will have to come in and represent the senators that were not there to talk about breaking up the country because they know the implication of not stepping in. They don't have the capacity to take 210 million refugees. That is the goal for those who don't understand the essence of stopping the election. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. Sonia Barawa, do you have anything to add to what he said?
Yeah. He has pointed to many things there, which I would love every speaker that will be speaking to also be picking an expansion on some of these points, because never in our life have we seen how a UK MP or minister or even the newly elected Prime Minister of the UK. I did not see when he was elected or when he was to be elected that he came to Nigeria and then he assembled the Nigerians. I did not see them come. I did not see them come and assemble Nigerians and then tell Nigerians, this is how I want to go and rule the UK people. Instead, they assembled their UK people in UK and then talk to them. They sat down, have town hall meeting, deliberated, and then move on. And then today they are ruling. So why is our own different? Please, other speakers should also touch on this as well. Thank you very much.
You know, my brother, there's this headline or tweet of the president, the current president of the United States, by the name, what is that? His name, Biden, that our spokesperson tweeted this morning, where he was saying that the fight of the Ukraine is a long-aged war, that they are fighting for freedom, and the U.S. will do everything to support them to achieve that. And I love what our spokesperson by the name Simon Ekpa added, sent the message that he sent to him. He told him that Biafra also is an long-aged war, and we will do everything to achieve our freedom. So these people, because of the time being, because of the way they see some of these Efulefu that call themselves leaders, they use this evil enclave to ascertain what all of us looks like. That if these ones can be bought with money, how much more other ones that are in the villages, in the rural areas, that have not seen anything, that have not seen money. Once you offer them money, they will go with it. These have been their stronghold on the Biafrans. They never knew that a man like Mazị Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa, these new 100 men, more than 100 men of Mazị Nnamdi Kanu on the space, Sonia Barawa, them, all these men that are here, that they will emerge, that cannot be bought with money. They never knew that a day like this would come. They thought that the game would be between the POS criminals and the Fanny Joffo will keep on deceiving us. They never knew that God will give us insight to what is happening around us. And that is where the game, God beat them in their own game. So freedom is our goal. If Catriona Liang, let him cry to heaven, he will be here. Biafra will come. So my brother Peter Ozo, please unmute yourself and speak. 2 minutes. Peter Ozo, are you there? Okay, Peter Ozo is not speaking. My brother Simon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Okay, my name is Uzoma. I want to thank you for this wonderful opportunity, for organizing this space. I want to say something. First of all, for the issue.
Ozo, your network is very bad. You can go out and come in. Please, my brother Simon, pick up your mic and speak to Biafrans. Thank you.
Thank you very much, brother. I thank everyone who is here and really appreciate your presence, making it a task to see that we speak to our people to see the reason why we should remain strong on this task of no election. We should understand that the Europeans came to Africa for a reason, and the reason for which they created the countries in Africa, 54, if you add Morocco to it, is to serve their interest. It is not to serve our interest. And so, if we put our hope that one day they will come to convert that very architectural framework of designing African countries to serve the interests of the West and Europe at large. It amounts to self-deception. And this is the reason why we should not also give a chance for them to continue using us to benefit their economy and enslave our generations. You see, the first industrial revolution was pioneered by Britain. And what was very necessary to pioneer that first industrial revolution was palm oil. Where did they get it from? Nigeria, West Africa. They take them raw to the United Kingdom. Now, Britain deviated from pioneering the Industrial Revolution into focusing the economy strictly on stealing and impoverishing African countries and other countries that they colonized. But as other countries were able to liberate themselves by fighting against Britain, they now focus their interests squarely on Nigeria, because that is where the wealth of Britain is coming from. And Britain is ready to sacrifice any black person, including me and you, who is speaking here, to ensure that they maintain that cord of diplomacy with Nigeria, just to keep the oil going. So when you see the Catriona Liang, the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, advertising Nigeria like a commodity or a product, it is not by mistake. This is what she's here for. If you think that she's in that office to do any other job, it's a lie. This is the primary duty, and she's doing it very well. That short-minute video is her duty. And so it is not up to us whether we will fall for the scam again or not. Our people are wise enough now. My brother was telling me this morning that when you go to bank to withdraw money, 100,000, they take 20,000. I don't know how true that is. But in a country like this, he was complaining that we don't know where we are heading to in this country. Normally, Nigeria don't have direction. And for us to change this narrative, for us to change this tune, for us to change these colonial powers, for us to tell them that, yes, we know what we are doing, we have to make sure that this election don't hold. Because if the election hold again, it will be very hard for us to get out of this trap. Britain is against us. America is telling us that they are freedom, they stand for freedom and liberty. But it was America that supplied the Tukuno aircraft that Hubu Zodima used to bomb our people. But when that bombing took place, did America not hear our complaint? Did they reply? No. But they are the ones saying that they would deactivate the aircraft. They didn't do it. So these are the people who are organizing our genocide from the shadows. So if we look up to them, we look in vain. If we look to ourselves, we will find solution. This is what I want to add to what we are discussing here. Our people know what to do. And I thank God that we are doing it. So I encourage everybody to stay strong. PVC is not our problem. Voting is not our problem. But the West, their interest must be terminated. We must hold this as a responsibility. And this is where we'll find our freedom and the freedom of the next generation. So thank you, and I drop the mic here for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother Simon. Thank you so much for that wonderful submission. Your words always encourage us. We know what to do. And not just that we know what to do, we are doing it. Because one thing is to know what to do, and it's another thing to do what you know how to do. Thank you, my brother. We are doing it. And it will take us to Biafra land. Before I proceed, I don't know, my brother, Biafra writers, do you have anything to add to what our brother Simon said before I call on Kings?
No, please go on. Go on.
Okay. Kings, please unmute yourself.
Good morning from my location.
Good morning.
God bless you. I want to speak to 4 people this morning. And before then, I want to thank all of us that have gathered here this morning to, bring our opinion to the world. I want to first of all speak to the Archbishop of the Canterbury called what's his name again? I don't know. I forget his name. I have written to that man 5 times because I am the Archbishop of the Most High God. Am I coming out clear?
Yes, proceed.
Yes. I have written to him 5 times concerning the killings carried out by Fulanis in our land. No response from him. I asked him in my email that they brought religion, their so-called Christianity to us. Britain brought Anglican Church, Presbyterian Church, and the Methodist, the whole of Britain, to us in the East. So why are they supporting the Fulani Muslims, killing their fellow brothers in Christ in this eastern part of Nigeria? It was a question that should be every reasonable human being should ask him. Now, I want to speak with to Catriona, the one they call Catriona Liang, or whatever liar is. My question is, even though we know that
Is anybody hearing King?
Yes,
Yes, we are hearing.
Yeah, okay. She is the Prime Minister of the British Prime Minister of one Nigeria. But then, is she also the INEC chairman? The answer is no. So I will advise her to please leave out Biafrans alone. She can go to Sambisa Forest and campaign for her PVC collection on the whatever have she, if she wants. Then again, I want to use this opportunity to talk to or to speak to Americans of conscience. I was there at the when we were doing protests, Washington D.C. I told them that if Eliza lives in the next 6 years, I surrender everything I have. Eliza is in hellfire now. Now, why are you keep supporting Britain? Because the British are the ones that are convincing Americans to, have their leg upon Biafrans in Nigeria. Then I want to remind them of this. This truth, it is called a universal truth. Biafrans, the separation or the coming of Biafrans today will bring peace to the whole world. Will save America, because if the Islamization agenda is, carried out the way they want it, Americans, I'm asking you these questions. I know you people are listening. Who do you think this jihadist will strike first? It is not Britain. It is not Britain. These jihadists will strike America first. So the coming up or the actualization of Biafra is going to save the whole world from unleashment of terror by these Fulani terrorists. Finally, last, I want to speak with our fellow brothers and sisters of Biafra and the Oduduwas. You have to take the horse by the horn. You have to take the bull by the horn, because you cannot be, our people say, you cannot be in a place where you are being killed every day. And the question is, are you people having brain damage? Don't you see what is happening? It is time to come together, to unite as one and say, no election of this 2023, so that we will have peace and save the world from the terror that is about to unleash by the Fulani jihadists. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much, King, for that wonderful submission. Please, Chris, mute yourself. My brother Nnamdi, please unmute yourself and speak to Biafrans. Nnamdi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning, everybody. I want to give God praise for another day like this, for gathering us here, for making us resolute. The fact that it is our time. And I want us to know that the center is no longer holding. God is on our side. what I hold where I hold my hand is on the words of God and the words of our leader Nnamdi Kanu. The fact is that there is nothing Britain can do this time around to take our mind, to take our hearts from Biafra, because Biafra is our last hope. Some of us, we are scattered everywhere in the world, in America, in Europe, everywhere. But if you see a sincere Biafra, you discover that even where he is, he's restless. Some of us are restless. So what I am saying is that everybody must preach this message to their people back home. Anyhow you will preach this message, that election must not hold. Catriona Liang can do whatever she knows. That's what she was sent to do. She was not there to report any message, any good message that will favor the indigenous people to the British people. No. He was there to make sure that the chain, the big chain they put on our neck will be there forever. There is nothing else. I have not seen a woman like her. I don't know I don't know the God that created that woman. Very evil, very wicked. The only way we will destroy their chain this time around is to say no. And that's why my heart got broken whenever I see any Igbo man talking about election. Wherever I see any Igbo, I don't know how I feel. I don't know how to express my feelings towards that person. So I am appealing to everybody who will make our leader Mazị Nnamdi relevant in this world, is to make sure that election will not hold. The only way we will thank him, and lift him high, is to make sure that this election will not hold. By preaching this gospel to everybody in your house, anybody that have benefited your money, anybody that have benefited your presence in this life, you must preach this message to them in Biafra land, that there must not be any election. That's what I'm begging. Whatever we are saying is wonderful. Whatever Catriona Liang can do, we do is cannot hold. If we agree that there will be no election, we must hold our leader in prayers. We must hold Simon in prayers. We must hold our ESN in prayers and preach this message. I don't have much to say. I am been here since we started. I'm listening, and every one of us are doing great. That's all I have to add this morning. And I want to just conclude it with just a simple prayer, short prayer within 3 seconds. I will conclude it. I'm going to lift my prayer from the book of Genesis, where God promised us through his son Jacob that God will be overcome. In Genesis chapter 49, verse 19, that God will become our progenitor, our great-grandfather, that a time shall come in his life, that a troop will overcome him, but at the end, he will be set free. And that end is now. And you can see, if you look at it, if you look around the world, you will know that the center is no longer holding. If you look around the world, you will know that the hegemony of the wicked British and America is getting in trouble. And that is our time. And we must not give up. Therefore, our Heavenly Father, we lift your name high. We exalt you, we bless you. We also holding you at your word, as you promise us that in time like this, the staff of the wicked that have been resting upon the shoulders of Biafran people, in time like this, that wicked staff will be broken. That shackles of the enemy, British and the Fulani, will be broken. We are bringing back your word to you. We are reminding you that the promise you gave to our fathers, the time to fulfill it is here. I thank you because you never forget your word. The Bible also writes that you are the God that watch your word and see it come to pass. And none of your word will return to you void without accomplishing that to which you sent it out for. Therefore, the time to liberate Biafra is now. We thank you because I know You have heard our cries. I lift your servant, Nnamdi Kanu, who have been suffering, who have lost all he has, including his beloved father and beloved mother and friends. He have sacrificed it. Our leader has sacrificed a lot at your side, oh Lord, and at your altar, oh Lord. Therefore, honor him. We lift Simon Ekpa before you, and we bring all the part of his body into your hands. All the part from her head down to her foot, we bring it at your feet. Lord, we ask that you protect them. Our brothers and sisters who have put their life in line, ESN and other group who have stood their ground and said it's better they die than to allow the enemy to take any inch of our land which you gave to our fathers. Jehovah will also leave them into your hands. We have no strength, we have no wisdom, we have no knowledge, we have no power, we cannot compete, but we have you. Therefore, fight for us, that at the end of the day, we dance as David danced at your presence. Be thou exalted, our Father, for answering our prayer. In the name of Chukwokika Abiyama, we pray.
Thank you, my brother
Thank you.
Nnamdi, for that wonderful submission and your prayers. My people, the only thing we should know is that the road to freedom is a very challenging one. The road to freedom is a challenging one. And we must be very strong to engage our enemies. Even God himself knows that when he brought out the children of Israel from the land of Egypt, because of the long period of time that they have been in Egypt, they have seen other gods. They have mingled with the life and the tradition of the Egyptians. He told Moses that there's a way that is not up to 40 days. They're supposed to travel 40 days to the land of the promise, to the promised land. But he said no, that they're not going to travel through that road, that he have to take them through the desert so that they will gather more experience and not to forget, so that it will not be easier for them to run back to Egypt. Because had it been they travel 40 days and get to the Canaan land, they will not fight. They will not be able to fight anybody. Many of them will run back to Egypt because the road is very close. But God have taken us through this rigorous road to gather all the experience, all the torture, all the trauma in this contraption called Nigeria. And now he's taking us to Biafra land. So that when Biafra come, we will guide Biafra jealously. So that Biafra will come, you will give your life to protect it. So thank you, my brother, for that wonderful submission. I don't know, my brother Sonia Akparawa, I don't know if you have anything to add before we call on another speaker.
Kudos to that very speaker. We appreciate your submission because you have enlightened the house on a very large scale, and your prayers is in cognizance with the prayers that we've been doing, and we encourage everyone to continue to pray. And you can see that the results of your prayers are giving us results, and we are winning. So when you check the post our dragon made today, you will see that is getting results from the prayers that Biafrans are doing. So as we pray, we are also fighting it and intensifying the prayer with the physical. That's why the Israelites did not just pray. As they prayed, they were reinforcing their armory. And that is why everyone should remember that in order to reinforce our armory, ESN must be funded in every way possible. Kudos to you all. We move. They will marry. The next speaker, please, can go on. Ifeanyi, can you hear me, please?
Yes, Chris, unmute yourself. If Chris is not there, Mazị Prince, please unmute yourself. Prince Otto, please unmute yourself. Is Prince Otto there? Biafra writers. Biafra writers. Okay. I don't know. Sonia Barawa, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well.
Okay, I just want to know maybe I'm the one having problems. Please, Chinyere, mute yourself. Chinyere, mute yourself. Please, my people, you're all welcome. In the absence of the people that requested for the mic that is not speaking, we are treating the topic, the message that we ought to send to Catriona Liang in his defecations. Now, we have to send the message to her and to British that sent her as a stooge in Nigeria to monitor everything that we are doing and to make sure that the contraption continue to exist. That is why we are here this afternoon. Not that sending her message will stop what we are doing, or that we will wait for her to repent for us to continue with what we are doing. No, but it will be she will take that message home. That this is one of the messages that the Biafrans sent to her while she was there, while we are fighting for our freedom. Because the international community, or whatever enclave they can hide, or they call themselves, whatever high name that they give to themselves, cannot stop us from getting our freedom. Because it's now done on us that nobody will give you freedom. Nobody. A slave cannot beg his way out from his master. The only way a slave can free himself from his master is, one, is either you overpower your master and you kill him, or her, you leave. Or you are able to gather money. You save money without the notice of your slave master. And you went to him and said, I want to buy myself again. There's a record of all this. I want to buy myself again. You ask him, how much am I worth? If he tells you and you have the amount, you pay it and you're a free man. You're a free woman. But in a situation that we are now, we are fighting our way out from this slavery, from this contraption called One Nigeria, from the Fulani hegemony and extension, from the Fulani jihadis and Fulanization of the indigenous persons of Nigeria. That is why we are sending message to this little witch of a woman. Our leader looked at this woman and said that he loved women. He used to look at women as mothers that are tender-hearted, that can care for their children. But the case of this woman, he cannot tell how a woman can be so devilish and wicked at the same time. That anywhere she goes, death follows her to anywhere she goes. So in this case, we are not looking at them for them maybe to talk to anybody on our behalf. No, we are speaking for ourselves. And our freedom is our only goal. Thank you, my brothers. I don't know. Biafra writers, are you still there? Okay. Mazị Prince, are you still with us? Mazị Prince is not there. Biafra Parliament, please unmute yourself.
Good afternoon from here, each and every one of us. And they appreciate our effort towards our freedom, the zeal and determination. Because our leader have told us that consistency is what we need to overcome and get our freedom. And I appreciate every one of us that is contributing his quota by money, by voice, and by power. And I pray that God will continue helping us and also giving us the strength to overcome these challenges that is coming to us. Concerning our topic, you know that Biafra is here. That's why you can see Nigerian newspaper cannot write anything a day without mentioning Biafra and IPOB. UN cannot stay 1 week without mentioning Nigeria. Every day they like to. There is no time that have come that UN every week they dish out message to Nigeria concerning the election. This week now they have the news I got this morning. They are writing that Nigeria must not fail this 2023. Imagine UN saying Nigeria cannot fail. The question you will ask yourself: do they see Nigeria failing? Yes, they see Nigeria failing, because it is overwhelming that Biafra are ready. It's overwhelming to them that Biafra are ever ready to get their freedom, either by peace or by pieces. As we have cried for years and they don't want to listen to our voices. Now, this period we are, they must listen to our gun, they must listen to our bullets, they must listen to our weapon. Anything that we may lay hand upon, we will use it against them. And this is not time. Anybody can dish out their message. Both Catriona Liang, she can dish out whatsoever message that seems good to her. Sure, the Nigeria will fail. And as our spokesperson say, Catriona Liang will be the last British commissioner to Nigeria. That evil woman, she will be the last anything have to do with British in Nigeria. She will be the last. And Nigeria is feeling the heat already. Nigeria is feeling the heat already. That's why you see people be going to Middle Belt to use 20,000 naira to buy food. They are feeling the heat already. They know that Southeast is nowhere. Biafra land is no-go area. We have crushed them, and this coming month is for us to seal it up. We have already granted them. It's just for us to seal it up. And by the grace of God, it is done. It is done, because the Bible is saying here nwata ruru oge ya. Nwata ruru oge ya, orie ya obo njọ. So Biafra erugo oge bịa. And this time around, there is no time that we have get it right this way. And by the grace of God, we will achieve our goal this year and this coming month. I submit. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, Biafra Parliament, for that wonderful submission. Now, Ndi was in on a mife draba. A kechie yon. Thank you, my brother. My brother Prince, Mazị Prince, if you're there now, please unmute yourself. Mazị Prince, are you there? You raised your hand now. You are not there. Chinyere, unmute yourself. Chinyere is not there. Okwako, are you there? Unmute yourself.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, 2 minutes.
Well done job for organizing this wonderful space for all the genuine Biafra agitators to come and speak their mind and tell the UK people, the London people, Catriona Liang and her cousins, that we, the Biafran people, have resolved within ourselves that we are fed up with that contraption. Because the UK people, or will I say the Londoners, it is high time they know that we have understood that Nigeria is their shop. They have stolen enough. They have taken enough. I don't know how many years it's been. It is their time now to pack and go. The owners of the shop are back now. They want to take their shop back. UK must know that the Biafrans have resolved that it is either Biafra or death. And they must know that at this time, the war will not only be in Biafra land. We have resolved within ourselves that whatever it will take, we will put everything together to make sure that Biafra comes this year, not another year. Thank you so much, my brothers. Thank you so much, my sisters. I want to thank Simon Ekpa for his resoluteness, for his unwavering spirit, because we are standing this strong because of the momentum that is moving him. He is standing also because of how resolute we are. So I want to urge all of us to continue, because our eyes is fixed on the ball. We can see Biafra is here. Welcome, Biafra. Thank you, my brothers. Let me give chance to another person.
Thank you, my brother Okwako. Thank you so much for that wonderful submission.
You're welcome.
Before I proceed, my brother Biafra Writers, are you there now with us?
Yeah,
Biafra
please, just continue. Whenever I want to speak, I will mute up myself.
Okay. Thank you so much. Mazị Prince, can you unmute yourself now and speak? Chinyere, unmute yourself. Chinyere, are you there? Ebuka Indaboski, unmute yourself and speak to Biafrans.
There, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on wherever you are speaking from. I am still remain Ebuka Indaboski, the liquid metal, and I am not a preacher of love, not a preach love. You understand? Based on this woman, whatever she's saying, she just they talk her own. They always want to make noise, do whatever they want to do. But most important thing is that they are understanding the message, they are hearing it. And there's another news today, you and telling Buhari that the election must hold. They have understand. In fact, they are getting it, but most time they always act as if nothing is happening. But we'll still tell them that we are waiting for them. We are just waiting for them. About also our government, we are waiting for them at Amem. When people are messing up, we just wait for them at Amem. When it's time to say that Amem, we'll not tell them that here are they now. So we are waiting for them. But so that's it. Thank you. We're waiting. We are not speaking more. No, we are not speaking English again. No need to start the talk or drag with anybody online. We are waiting for them. When they finish, may they come. We could now show them how mad we are. I know. Say our leader said you need madness, mad people. See, we are maddest. No, say they are maddest. We are maddest. We are waiting for them. They will see our madness this time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for that wonderful submission. Thank you so much for that quick one. My brother, Sonia Barawa, our own Sonia Barawa, please. If there's anything you want to add to what he said before we proceed, you do so. In the absence of that, let's.
Okay, thank you, Mazị. I just spoke. You've dropped another bomb, and wherever they are listening, the whole place will be boiling because they don't know what is coming ahead of them. And I want to also remind Biafrans and my Oduduwa brothers and Ambazonians and everyone listening to us that when they wanted to make use of this constitution to entrap everybody and to put us in one corner, they did not do it with the intuition of the brains of the so-called Nigerians in quote. They did it with the intuition of these British devils. Every template that is laid out in one Nigeria is laid out by the British devils. So we must always understand this. That is why they will say they will stop at nothing than to make sure one Nigeria continues. This is the last time they will be making use of that speech, and then it will work for them. Because the Biafran of this time, which they killed their parents, killed their siblings, killed their friends, and killed their ancestors, their children, which they refused to take care of them, have come to do what their fathers did not do. Who enslaved us for years? Who took us to America? Who took us to UK in chains? How did the British Empire got built? It is the same Biafran people, the Africans. When you check in the genealogy of slavery, you see that it is from this Nigerian contraption that contributed immensely to the slave department in the world than any other place. And you emancipated it. Britain, US, the Spanish and the Portuguese. Before this slavery was made to be in a very good and lucrative way, the Spanish officials and even a priest that was seated made it possible. And today, people don't get back to reason and ask some questions. Far back in this contraption called Nigeria, the reason why you don't see your religious leaders being able to speak up, to stand to speak against the power that be, is because all their religious offices have been caged far in the north. Can you imagine a situation whereby in the north, it is not where Christianity is well practiced, but it is in the north that you have the headquarters of Christianity. You check Mount Zion Lighthouse Gospel Church, you check the Catholic, you check the Anglican, you check all these Pentecostals. They now put their headquarters in the north. So, before they say anything, the Northern Caliphate, controlled by these British criminals, have already caged their minds and they can never come out to speak and say anything boldly to the system. Then I ask another question. Why is it that the headquarters of the Fulani or the Muslim or the Islamist religion is not located in the east or not located in the south? Why is it that our own, that we claim to be Christians, is located in the shores of the caliphate, in their own hands, so that they control our minds and resources and feelings and emotions? Because that is why you see religious leaders will come out to speak, and all of them will be speaking, Nigeria will be well again. The Nigeria will be well again when they are in their graves. That is the message we have for them. And in this same contraption, you cannot see the Defense Academy located in the. You cannot see the Defense Academy located in the east. You cannot see it located in the south. You cannot see the Police Academy located in the east or in the south. You cannot see all the security warehouse located in the south. All of them are located in the north because it was something that was well planned. Then you now check out the security architecture of the country, where we are planning about how the country can go forward. You will not be seeing your brothers and sisters from the south being part and parcel of the security sector and planning. Then you come back to ask yourself, is this the same contraption that they say all of us are one in accord? No, we can never be, and we have never been. So it is something that we need to destroy if we must live. And that is why we are doing everything within our power to make sure this message gets into the thick skulls of everyone, for them to brave up their mind and their synergy and their determination, for us to make sure, if they say we are doing a mistake, let us do this other mistake again in our own time. If our forefathers did not even stand to fight in the first place in January 15, coup of 66, everybody in one Nigeria, even the people that were enjoying one Nigeria in Lagos, while there was massacre in Biafra land, all of them would have gotten their head for it. But because of the people that stood up to fight in that time, they truncated the plans of the Fulanization. Will it surprise everyone to know that while this Fulanization agenda was on the table, being dissected by the Fulanis, Azikiwe was running to the Caribbean and to the UK to go and enjoy himself, when he has already known the plans of the caliphate and he could not stop it because it was just a figurehead, just seated there. The same thing is what we are telling Biafrans today, that using obedience or using anybody to put in power is endorsing the killings of more people. So we must get this Biafra once and for all. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother Sonia Barawa. You just reminded me of the revelation of one of the Hausa Christian in the year 2017 when he said that the Church of Nigeria is married to Caliphate. And you just confirmed it, that is the reason why their headquarters are all stationed in the north. And that is why they cannot speak out. And that is the reason why the Khan chairman was killed and they cannot even raise an eyebrow. There's no protest, there's nothing. Nobody said anything. Was killed, massacred, killed like a goat. And nobody said anything. But the restoration of Biafra will correct every of those things, that you can no longer come to Biafra land and kill us and go away with it. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much for that. And I Biafra
all right. Yes, of course, everybody has spoken well. These British people, Catriona Liang, I remember in 2021 when our leader was renditioned to Nigeria, she appeared on Arise TV and was questioned, being interviewed by Ruben Abati, and immediately she was questioned about our leader, the condition of our leader as being a British citizen. She was trying to wave away the question. She was trying to avoid the question. She didn't say anything. She never visited our leader as a British High Commissioner. Mazị Nnamdi Kanu is a full British citizen, and the Britain has abandoned him there because of the interest they have in Nigeria. Just imagine Nigeria went and committed international crime, known to everybody that is a breakdown of rule of law, and they extraordinarily renditioned him back to Nigeria, and Britain abandoned him. So on this one, there is one article that one of our members, Mazị Nnamdi, wrote. He said, why does Britain allow Mazị Nnamdi Kanu's human rights to be violated? And it reads, Mazị Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen whose fundamental human rights has been violated through illegal abduction and extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria. This is totally against the Commonwealth and UN charters on human rights. Today, there are many unanswered questions which the British government, on reasons it still allows Mazị Nnamdi Kanu's rights to be violated at infamous DSS dungeon without intervention. From all the evidence provided to the British government by IPOB legal team, the erstwhile leadership, and especially the daily expositions of Mazị Simon Ekpa and the media team, Mazị Nnamdi Kanu's rights have been grossly violated. Despite the awareness created by IPOB in 88 countries of the world, the British government still pays deaf ears to the violation of Mazị Nnamdi Kanu's fundamental human rights. Even as a British citizen, the Chief Judge Bintan Yako squashed 14 out of the frivolous 15-count charges against Mazị Nnamdi Kanu after many months of delays. As the opportunity to jail him continued to fail, the whole thing has become a charade. Very shameful. It is really a bad image to British government for the whole world to view Britain as selective in upholding justice in Nigeria. We are totally convinced that the British secret alliance with Nigeria is the reason it is doing this, just to continue their economic exploitation at existential cost to Biafrans. We would like to let the British government know that this is not 1966, when the combined forces of the West bombarded Biafran territory without mission accomplished. Furthermore, in this 21st century, they have to tread with care, read our lips. We are no strangers to Britain's continuous efforts to undermine the indigenous people of Biafra. For instance, the British High Commissioner Catriona Liang clandestinely toured an entire Biafra land to drum up support for Peter Obi's 2023 presidential candidacy. She wants the election validated by Biafran's participation, but it will not work. Every responsible government is watching both the Nigerian and British theatrics with international norms. This is pure negligence and doubted standard. In a bid to protect its economic interests, the British government abdicated its responsibility to protect the citizens whose fundamental human rights were forcefully stripped off. Today, Mazị Nnamdi Kanu, a prisoner of conscience, is being dehumanized and handled like a common criminal by Nigerian law security operatives. The UK simply watches on the affirmation. Biafrans deserve better. The unconditional release of Mazị Nnamdi Kanu could have happened if Mazị Nnamdi Kanu is not for the freedom of the Biafran nation. Who has dropped the ball here? It is Britain, no doubts. There are no justifiable reasons, therefore, for Nigeria and Britain to still keep Mazị Nnamdi Kanu in DSS dungeon. This man is a national treasure. He does not have to pass through this because of this glaring innocence. His glaring innocence. Release him. Once again, Mazị Nnamdi Kanu is a prisoner of conscience and should be freed unconditionally. The UN has to do more. Mere condemnation of Nigeria's impunity is insufficient. Free Mazị Nnamdi Kanu now. Free all detained Biafrans now. Free Biafrans itself. Udo Drende Shoro Udo by Mazị Hyginus Udochukwu for Biafran Writers of Conscience. So thank you very much. You can continue from here again. Fine.
Thank you, my brother, for that wonderful one. Thank you so much for that write-up you read for us. My brother Paul Nnemeka, are you there? Paul Nnemeka, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
2
Am I coming
minutes.
out loud?
Yes.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Biafras. Good morning. Good evening, for depending on where you are listening from. First of all, I would like to thank the co-host for this space. Actually, I'm speaking from Finland. Based on the topic of Catriona Liang and the UK, British, whatever they call themselves. The only thing I have here to contribute about this open space contribution is that British can do their worst, whatever they want to do. They can advertise their company however they want to advertise it. One thing we are sure is that at the end, Biafra must come. Catriona Liang, who has been the person who is clamoring for this recycling of enslavement in Nigeria. This time around is the end time of her, because Simon have already said it that he will be their end. And our leader said it also, because this is what I've been quoting it even in my tweet. Our leader said they will fail woefully. So there's one thing I want to prepare to Biafrans today, that they should understand this, because most of the words from our leader MK, Mazị Nnamdi Kanu, who is the prophet of our time, he has already said this, and he mentioned it, that if we have to look for this our freedom, the way other people have been looking for their own freedom and get it, if we look for it this way, you can never get it. Then I emphasize on this election time, and I make my research, and I understand that throughout the whole countries that have gained their freedom, none of them have ever gained it through this election period time. That we stand as a Biafrans and said, no election in Biafra land. That is the spiritual word. and it must surely come to pass. You know, so I want Biafrans to keep on rejoicing. Just like Samuel Ekpa was tweeted today that there was a good news and there's a winning. I want Biafrans to be rejoiced because the more he have kept silent for these few days, I know that Zoo and all these Nigerians and all these new colonialism, they are wondering what is happening. We are not surprised because we know something great is coming up. Sometimes when we are doing things and it's getting tougher, I want Biafrans to understand that is the time that a good result is going to come out. So, these are the only few things I only want to send a message to Catriona Liang and their M5 or M15, whatever they call themselves. They should get hell out of Biafran way. They should fuck off from Biafran way. We are coming in heavy force. Thank you very much, Biafrans.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much, brother Paul Nameka, for that wonderful submission. Thank you so much. Mr. Editor, please unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, good morning to you all, depending on wherever you are listening from. I'm really bitter right now. This morning when we were making our prayers, I found myself in a very unconducive environment and I couldn't say my prayer for the liberation of Biafra. But one thing I want you people to know is that we are very, very resolute. Catriona Liang, they can go to hell for all I care. Listen, now we the Biafra, we are making these people, the United Nations, the EU, whoever are, we are the people that are making them to look relevant. They are stupid and useless set of people, and to help with them. Because each time we have killings in Biafran land, you can never see these fools to come out and condemn these killings. But now they want to come and observe Nigerian election. This will be their end, and we are going to do whatever it takes to make sure that this is their end. You know, they are underrating us. They don't know what we are bringing up with. They don't know what we are capable of doing. You know, so they feel that it's business as usual. You know, and one thing I like Simon Ekpa in this struggle is that the Sabos, they are totally in the dark. They don't know what we are up to. They don't. So there is nobody to buy over. There is nobody to bribe. How can you? In fact, I'm so mad. Like right now, like the Biafra should just come. We should die if we have to. If we have to join the forces, if we have to join the Biafran army to make sure that we defend this struggle, we will do it, and we do it with dignity. Thank you. I'll still be listening, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak my mind. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much, Mr. Editor. Thank you so much for that wonderful submission. I don't know, before I proceed, Mazị Nnamdi, do you have anything to add to what he said? Or should I call the next speaker?
Go on, please. Thank you.
Okay. Chinyere, are you there now to speak to Biafrans? Chinyere, are you there? Mazị Kelly Obi, Mazị Awonawo. I don't. This your name, please.
Mazị
Kelly Obi, please.
Mazị
Sorry.
Yeah. Greetings, everyone. Greetings from wherever you are hearing and contributing from. Whatever your time is right now, I send very blessed greetings to you all. And to contribute to what my brothers have already made up here, you know, when you look at the recent corruption index that just came out, then you see that Britain or how would I say it, just England or London, wherever, you will see where their position are. You will see how corrupt they are. And then when you look up there, you see Finland, you see Denmark. You see, that is why they, in everything they've been doing, in all the petitions they've been writing, in all the it's not even lobbying. They are not lobbying. No, they are just trying to bribe some people and trying to make a headway in Finland and trying to see what they can achieve. This is why you will see that there is nothing they will do illegally that is going to affect Biafra from coming, because Finland is a country that works very legally. Once you live in Finland and you keep your hands clean from illegalities, from anything corruption, you are safe. And once you become a Finnish citizen, they will protect you with everything they've got. You know, so Catriona Liang, whatever her name is, you know, this is to show you that all she does in that contraption called Nigeria is just corruption, corruption, corruption. She's just the head of corruption emissary between that contraption called Nigeria and the British government. You know, she safeguards everything moving from zoo to Britain. So that is why whatever anybody says about her, they are not going to remove her there. But thank God that Mazị Simon have said it, and then God have already assigned it that she will be the last ambassador to that country called Nigeria. So it doesn't matter what she does. It doesn't matter what anybody does. It doesn't matter what Britain does. You know, they can't change it. You know, they can't fight it. You know, this is just the hand of God. And that brings me also to when you see many people now, there are many prophecies that are coming up from some reverend fathers of Igbo extraction, and even some pastors. You know, and what I write on their comment section is from which and from what God. You know, right? This time around, we need to be asking them from which God, because we don't believe that this same God that told us to fight for our freedom, this same God that said, when it's time for you to go, I will stand by you. I don't think it's the same God that is asking them to tell Mazị Simon Ekpa to mellow down and allow election to hold in Nigeria, so that their P2B will finish whatever they've started. So this is to tell them that the time has come. You know, this is the appointed time. He has assigned it that we are going home, and nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop it. You know, and I am very, very happy that Finland is giving us. It's just a safe place for our spokesman to be and to continue fighting. And nothing any other government can do to influence them to sell out their own citizens. So what happened to Mazị, our Onyendu Mazị Nnamdi Kanu, is because Britain is already corrupt, and there is nothing anybody can do about it. But all we do is that we hold him so very tight in our prayers daily that he will survive and he will be alive to see and to enter Biafra. So we just keep on letting them know that we are here to stay, and we will give everything we've got to make sure that Biafra comes. Financially, materially, socially, whatever it is, we are going to give in to make sure that Biafra comes. Let nobody hold back, you know. Let's just go full out and then give our support and make sure that we stand firm and make this thing happen. Even if we're giving the support secretly, anyhow you want to do it, this is the time for us, and this is the time for us to rise and shine. I yield the mic. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mazị Nnamdi, for that wonderful submission. Thank you so much. My brother Daberechi, please unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. depending on where you're coming from. Happy to be here again. Happy to be in your midst. Greet you all. My submission, I just want to go this way. I just want to go to this direction. I want to talk to Catriona Liang. You know, it has become a imperative now. It has become necessary for us to be, at least when we want to talk to her, to them, at least we call her name, because we have come to understand that everything about Nigeria, everything about British and Nigeria, everything about them is how they will keep Nigeria one, how they will make Nigeria to be one, because of what they are getting from Nigeria. And when you understand that name, Nigeria, keeping Nigeria one means that we will keep that Biafrans will be in darkness, that Biafrans will be suffering. They don't care anyhow Biafrans are surviving. They don't care anything, that they don't want to care anyhow, as in they don't send how we survive anything about us. Once Nigeria is one, and Nigeria keep killing us, Nigeria keep doing all manner of evil to kill us, to be killing us, doing all manner of evil. And once they are getting what they want, they don't care, they don't send. All they want is Nigeria be one. All they want is that when they call Nigeria, they will say one Nigeria. So I don't understand the meaning of that one Nigeria. Right now, I have come to understand that meaning of that one Nigeria is to keep Biafra suffering, to keep Biafra in darkness, to keep killing Biafrans whenever they want to rise up and demand for what belongs to them. I have come to understand that Catriona Liang, I don't know, but it has this time now we have to be calling your names. We have to be calling your name, because all we can see is your interest in Nigeria, only what you can get in Nigeria. That's all you want to do to keep Nigeria one. The other day you came out to be calling. Now you are campaigning for Nigeria to get PVC. I don't know which party you belong in Nigeria now, that you are calling them to get PVC. You have become one of the campaign manager in Nigeria for PVC. Today now, I just saw a news that you sent. She was telling the imposter in Aso Rock that she will do everything to keep Nigeria. They can't afford to divide Nigeria or to whatever, something like that. So when you look at all these things, you find out that these people don't care about us. They don't care anything about us. All they want is Nigeria to be one, for us to be dying, for us to be suffering. Whenever we rise up and to fight for our freedom, they will not, all the killings that are happening to Biafra land, they don't care. They don't send, only to keep Nigeria one. I'm telling them now that we have made up our mind to fight for what belongs to us. We have swear that we cannot validate Nigeria again. We are not Nigeria, and there's nothing about Nigeria, there's nothing concern us again with Nigeria. We are defending ourselves, we are defending our territory. Our own is our own. Nigeria in Biafra land, there's nothing about Nigeria, nothing concern Nigeria in Biafra land. We are standing on our ground. We want to make our names to be held as the other nations. We want to stand for Biafra. We want to defend Biafra. We are not Nigeria. We are not part of Nigeria, and we can never be Nigeria. You can do whatever things you want to do with Nigeria, but don't come to Biafra land. We have stand for our rights. We have made up our mind to fight for our rights. You can do with Nigeria whatever you want, but your end has come to Biafra. Your end has come to Biafra. All you British corrupt people, all you corrupt British people, all you care is how to develop your economies, how to develop your countries. You don't care where the economy is coming from. You don't care what we are suffering, how we are being killed. You don't care. All you want is for us to go and collect our PVC and vote for this Nigeria that you don't even know how we survive in this Nigeria. Your end has come, and this year must be the end. We are not part of Nigeria, and we can never be part of Nigeria again. Thank you, everyone. I hit my mic here. Hello, Ekpa, are you there? Okay, Sonny, please, I hit my mic for next person to speak.
Okay, who will be the next person to speak? Oh, wait, some people requested. Where are the people that requested, please? We need to bring you in. Accept, add a speaker, okay. Chimeze, also add a speaker. God's will, add a speaker. All right, we move. Ifeanyi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. The network removed me.
All right, welcome back.
Thank you.
Do you still have the co-host now?
No, Biafra writers have to invite me back. But you will call
Okay,
the next
when
person.
it comes back.
Dels is the next person to speak before Emeka that is raising his hand.
Okay. Del, you may take
Hello,
the mic, please.
hello, Biafrans. Good
Fire on, we
afternoon
can
from
hear
where
you.
I am. I want to say something about what I just got in my mind now. I got it right now when I was listening to this message. It was all about there is this thing that I want to say, and please let's do it. It will make them think and rethink. These people that are shouting one Nigerian of a thing. If somebody shout one Nigeria, please let's call them British slavers, so that whenever you tell them British slave, they will think, what is this person saying? Something like that. It is very funny, but let's do it. I love it. I want to appreciate everyone here for your works, doing both the co-host, the host. I want to appreciate you all for inviting me to say. I want to tell both Simon Ekpa, let God bless him, both Nnamdi, and let God bless him. I want to tell everybody, stand strong. We are moving. No going back. Like Nnamdi said, we are going to destroy Nigeria beyond human comprehension. That's our key, and we are gonna do it. Stand strong. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mazị. Mazị Fine, who will be the next person now? Mazị Fine, who is the next person now to speak, please?
Emeka will now speak.
Okay. Emeka, grab the mic, please.
All right. Good day, everyone. Greetings to the house, host and co-host. Well, actually, what I want to say concerning the Catriona Liang open defecation in Nigeria and message to the British is just that the woman is corrupt and there is nothing anybody can do about it. All we have to do is just chase her out of Biafra land. She's corrupt, and
Please, Sonny, mute deaths. Please, Emeka, mute. Sonny, mute deaths. Mute deaths so that the noise
Okay.
from his background
That has to be
will not be
muted.
affecting us.
Okay. I've muted him now. All right, right on, Emeka. Sorry for that.
okay, like I was saying, Catriona Liang is corrupt. She's a corrupt bitch. So what we have to do is just to get her off Biafra land by force, because there is nothing there is no other way. She's corrupt and she's being used spiritually. She might not know what she's doing. Let's just put it that way. She's being controlled spiritually, and every other thing. British is using her. The Fulanis are also using her, controlling her, pressing her like remote. If you see the way she's behaving, you know that she's not even with her senses anymore. She's behaving like a child. She's the only diplomat that I saw in this earth that goes to a place to represent their country and campaigning for presidency and for who is going to be in office and who is not going to be in office. It has never happened in any country except this beach, you know. So we should just put everything in prayer. Let her eye clear, because she will use her mouth to declare Biafra someday. I pray. I yield my mic.
Thank you, Mazị Emeka. There's something we need to understand about this British contraption and any of the appointees sent to your lands or regions. They are there to make sure the hegemonic tendency continues. They are there to make sure the slavery continues. They are there to endorse the killings that happens in your communities. Reason being that that is what they gain from your lives. When you are killed, when you are massacred, it gives a level playing field for them to be able to enjoy everything that God has given you, your lives, your generations, present and generations to come, and even your children that were supposed to be born. The visions of your people and everything that has to do with resources. This is where they fit from. So we need not be surprised that wherever UK is using their camera to watch, everything in that place is not going fine. It can never go fine. If we take our mind back to India, there was a salt reserve that God gave the people of India. But British Empire said, nobody from India should pick from this salt. Nobody from India should pick from this salt and use, whether to eat or to make money from it or to even use it for any reason. This enslavement continued for years and centuries. Then one day it took one man, Muhammad Andi, to break that bond of contraption. He was later arrested and then locked up. And then they continued the protest. Before then, let me connect something here. Before then, before Muhammad Andi led this protest and this march, Muhammad Andi had gone through the education of their people from the churches. When we say that we have one big problem from the religious angle, this is how. They went from churches to churches, educating their people of how they need to get themselves liberated from the British contraption. They educated everybody. And later, the selected people now that were at the forefront, just like we have Mazị Nnamdi Kanu and some of the DOS criminals that were working with him. Those are the people now that went to go and carry out that very, very decision of breaking that bonds of the British contraption. They picked from that salt, ate from it, used it for whatever they wanted to use. So the British Empire arrested them and locked them up. That is how the revolution started, the protest started. As they locked them up, message got back to the congregation, to everyone that they have been preaching and telling them about their freedom and how they will get themselves liberated. And those ones now mobilize and reinforce and continue the preaching, and everybody joined forces. What do we see there? Commitment and readiness and determination, concentration and focus. As MNG has been preaching for years, they kidnap him now. Simon Ekpa now is the one standing, calling on all of us. He needs our support. So British, they will stop at nothing, even to this point that you see that they are kneeling down and begging you and say, come and vote. They are doing it because everything is beneficial to them in this our place. But Biafran people have made up their mind and they are not going to get it. So Mazị Chuku, I don't see your full name, please. You may speak now. Please, if I'm not going in line, someone should tell me. Ifeanyi, are you there? Because you are the one that was following up the people in line.
Yes, I'm here.
Good afternoon.
I think Enyi, not you will speak. Hold on.
Okay.
It's Chiemeze. Chiemeze, please unmute yourself. Chiemeze.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon from here, and I want to thank every one of you for the wonderful work you all are doing. Sonny, I greet you from Holland. There's something I want to refer to, before I will talk about this Jezebel called Catriona Liang. When we talk about no election in Biafra land, it's good that we also always make it clear for our people to understand that no election in Biafra land has to do with no governorship election, no senatorial election, no House of Reps, no local government election, because these are the slaves that British have planted in our society that has been holding us down. So it's always good for us to spread it that far, so that people will understand why we say no election in Biafra land. So that it doesn't only stop at the presidential election. But what God is doing, that everything that starts from the head, will get to the whole system. Now is the time of presidential election, which that is where it has to start. So when we succeed in this presidential election, and then we spread it over to the other ones, and then you will see our freedom coming like that. It will be like a film to people. Because once we succeed in doing this in Biafra land, believe me, there is no much weapon we can use to destroy this our enemy than this. And that is why you see them running helter-skelter, trying to see the way they can put us back, so that we'll continue to validate them. So my people, never you give up on this our great hope. MAK has said it, that the ways Biafra will come, it will be the last miracle. Last miracle, that is something that you never expected that it will happen. And when you look at our spokesperson, he said you will sleep in Nigeria and you wake up in Biafra land. These are spiritual things, but people they don't understand it this way. So my people, I want to use this opportunity to encourage you people to know that Britain is the worst enemy of us. Britain, when you look at all the colonialist whatever countries, Britain is the head in all of them. Britain is so wicked that they only have the same spirit with Fulani people. They can kill you, they make sure you suffer, they brutalize you, they destroy you, they don't have human feelings. And that is why they were able to work together with Fulani, because Fulani were killing them during Ottoman Danfodia era. And they only saw, okay, the way these people are killing us, let us march together with them and then get to the south and start killing the people and take over the land. And that is what we are seeing today. So if we are not strong, if we don't match them the way they are matching us, if we are not brutal the way they are brutal, my brother, our freedom will be very far. And the way we are doing it now is the best way. So I want to use this opportunity to thank you all for the good work you people are doing. And I also want to use this opportunity to thank our spokesperson, Mazị Nnamdi, because if not for Elohim that brought him, my brother, forget it. This thing, they have planned it and they have stamped it that it's over when they kidnap our leader. So when God's hand is in something, he will always bring out somebody that will take over. Somebody that will open up all the corruption going on, things that have been holding us down in this our struggle. By this small space that God brought in, because God knew everything that happened. He just did it because he wants us to have our freedom. So that our leader is in the hands of our enemies today. God knows everything. And because of him, that he shifted, a lot of things have been opened up. And these a lot of things that were opened up now, it will make our freedom to come. So I want to yield my mic here, and I'll be watching and be listening because I'm still at work. Thank you very much, my brother.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Please, we need only at least 2 or 3 more people to speak, then close down the space. We have tried for today. Thank you very much. Please, Ifeanyi, who is the next? 2 more people, please.
Okay. My brother Chukwu Kadibia, you're raising your hand. After you, then Mazị God's will. Then we'll call it a day.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ifeanyi, and also Biafran Writers of Conscience, and Mazị Abarawa. May Chukwuka Abiyama continue to strengthen you guys and those who have spoken and those who are listening. One thing I wanted to add shortly, because it's been a very long, interesting space, and the topic, it's been very interesting. I've been enjoying it, but I wanted to add something because what I want to reassure reference is that the difference now is that unlike before, when Mazị Nnamdi Kanu started the agitation and all that, it was mainly those guys who are illiterates, they call them Zama people and that. But this is the autopilot, a bunch of articulate, intelligent, resolute, resilient, people. Having said that, what this lady, sticking to the topic, because I know you're rounding up, I wanted to share with us that Catriona Liang, whatever his name, Catriona Liang, whatever her name is, this is not the first time. What she's doing, that statement by her, urging Nigerians to make sure they get their PVC, that's not the first time. 2014 to 2018, before she came to Nigeria, she was in Zimbabwe. She did the same thing. She's just an agent. What she did in Zimbabwe was the same, celebrating Queen's Day, telling them how solid she's been ruling for 65 years and how it's very important they go and vote. And they managed to manipulate the Zimbabweans. And today, Britain has gone back to Zimbabwe as a Commonwealth country, milking them again. All the efforts of Robert Mugabe is gone. But one thing I want to remind the British government is that Biafrans are nothing compared, with all due respect, to Zimbabwe. They are dealing with different animals here, different beasts. We are ready for her. She is doing the bidding of the British government. All this nonsense, but we know, we got her number. We know what she's about. We're not listening to her. We want our freedom. One more thing I need to mention, that's been mentioned, I need to reiterate, is that she must be the most stupid person on earth. How can you be a British High Commissioner in a country where your national is actually in custody after being illegally, renditioned in a third country, and also going to court and a court of appeal, discharging him? She must be the most stupid idiot. But she doesn't know. Lastly, she doesn't know who she's dealing with. She's dealing with articulate, intelligent, because when the colonial masters came to colonize us, when they wrote a book that's no longer online now, no longer in circulation because of the history being taken away from the curriculum, the way they describe the Igbo people, they say there are, and when I mean Igbo, I mean Biafra, because let's not go there, but we all know we are Igbo. IBO means intelligent, brave, and organized, and that's what she will get. I hear my mic. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, my brother Chukwu Kadibia. And the next person we have here that will speak It's Mazị Goswell. Mazị Goswell, if you're there, you unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, Umu Chineke. Am I coming out clear?
Yes, you are. Go
Very
ahead.
well,
You have
very well,
2 minutes.
very well.
2 minutes.
All right. First of all, though I have to be snappy, my greetings go to the Afghan writers of conscience. Mazị Ifeanyi, I see you. Our big brother, Mazị Aparawan, I see you. I also greet all members of the BWOC who are here. You see, this discussion, I've been on the stage for quite a long time. I was listening, though I was quite busy, but all my attention was here. And I heard a lot of, statements from various people who spoke very, very well. But all I have to say is this. You see, this lady we are talking about, Catriona Liang, we have seen her footprints in Biafra land or in Nigeria as a whole. We have seen her movement, all she did. And if you can remember, during the NSAS, there was a time Mazị Nnamdi Kanu talked about her, where he called her a witch. Mazị Nnamdi Kanu said that anywhere this woman visits, people will always die there. I don't know if some of you still remember. And one of the examples was when she came to River State to visit the governor of River State, talking about the person of Yens Onwike. And after her visit, that was when the Obibo massacre took place. She also visited some places in the north, and people were killed. The moment she goes there and leaves, people will be killed. Even during the NSAS again, after she had a visit with the DSS, together with the British secret unit, I think the one they call MI7 or so. The moment they concluded that meeting, that was when the Lekki shooting took place. So people were also killed in that same process. So it seems that, her job in particular was to put in every pressure, every force necessary to make sure that the people whom they are holding hostage can't even make a move. And even if it warrants killing that person, they don't care, because to them, their mission comes first. First is to protect the interests of Britain. And, these are the kind of people they raise and bring to us as ambassadors who will come and protect their own interests at the detriment of the indigenous people. Having said that, we also need to, understand that the time of lamentation is over. We are no longer going to be crying, because this period is the period of woto woto. In fact, as I am here, my blood is boiling. Before I joined this space, I made a post on my Facebook page where I said that the order has been given and it has been confirmed that we are good to go. That was the post I made. And that post came after Mazị Simon Ekpa made his post on his tweet on Twitter, talking about how happy he was. Sometimes you don't need to say something open to us. We are spiritual followers, both soul, spirit, and body. Whenever a news comes out, we get it. We get the information. You don't need to spell it out. We already know where you're heading to. That is how God prepared us for this movement. So that information was a great one, and I knew something big has already happened somewhere. So what I'm saying right now is that this is the period when we are going to meet them head on. They should prepare their armories. They have enough fighter jets. They should prepare them. We are ready to engage them. We will engage them very hard. We are going to hit them very hard. They will know that we own this land. They don't own this land. We know the hooks and corners of this land. This land was given to us by God Almighty. We are not fighting to claim something that does not belong to us. We did not ask Britain to leave their land for us. This is our own land. And enough is enough. They have been doing it for years. We have been keeping quiet. After the Civil War, everywhere went quiet. We decided to see, if there's any way we can renegotiate and, manage a life. But it seems that they don't want it that way. They kept killing us. They kept using their policies to strangulate us. They kept making things more difficult for us. Had it been, it was just only the difficulty, it would have been a different case. But our survival as a people now depends on it. It means that if you keep quiet, you will be wiped out completely. And, you people should not bother about the Fulefus. Those people who talk about people, we do not bother about them. We are going to drag them in. When it starts, when the music starts playing, nobody will tell them where to go. We have seen them now. Take the answers as a case study. When the answer started, Mazị Nnamdi Kanu asked us not to engage. He was talking to IPOB. He said, do not engage. Do not involve yourself. This is a Nigerian youth issue. Let them sort it out themselves. And that was why IPOB decided not to engage. Though he played an active role, advising them on what to do because he knows a lot of them are educated illiterate. After going to school, they come back home and they become useless. They don't even know their direction. He kept advising them. But at the end, what happened? The moment they were shot at, the moment the soldiers came out, and then people got killed, everybody ran into their house. That is how far the Nigerian youth can go. That is how far those behind P2B can go. Whenever they are being shot at, they will run into their house and it ends there. So it is only we now, the brave ones, who have been coming out when we had nothing but just flags. So now show them how to play this game. And we are going to do it with them the Ambazonia style. Yesterday, I got some updates on how it was going down in Ambazonia, and I was very, very happy. And at least most of us can see the result. Today, the UN is calling for, calling Ambazonia for a roundtable discussion. If they did not fight their way, do you think they would have respected them? These people don't understand peace. You give them as they hot. That is the only language they understand. Now, the same UN is telling us to go and vote. Meanwhile, in Ambazonia, they are telling them to come for a discussion. What does that tell you? They believe in somebody who have put up, an action. And that is the only thing left for us. We have been petting, a lot of times when issues like this come up, when we are supposed to act, people start saying, leave it, please, don't wait till Shemeya. Don't do like this, we don't want them to call us this name. They'll say we are terrorists. And I keep telling them, you did not fire any shot and you were proscribed in a Nigerian court. Now, I think a particular group also now added the IPOB as a terrorist. They haven't done anything. So, can you hear me?
Go on. You just have 10 seconds to conclude.
Am I coming?
It's okay. Your network is not good enough. You mute yourself. At least you have passed your message. That is our job, brother. God's will. Thank you very much for that wonderful speech. Meanwhile, the last person to speak, but not the least, is Machux. Please, after him, we make our closing remarks and shut down the space. Thank you very much. Chooks, make it just have 1 minute to speak. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, Biafrans, Oduduwas, and lovers of freedom. All protocol duly observed. Just a quick one. I just want to ship in this one to the caption. I have a message for both the British High Commissioner and the British indigents themselves. The message is, we, the Biafran people, want out from Nigeria. I know you are aware of it. It doesn't start today. But we are not saying this thing so that we can push you to do what you don't want to do. We are just saying it for posterity's sake. Because it's going to be in the media. You can forget, but the media can never forget. It's been a long time we asked for a living. The opportunity to make our voice heard. But you have been always turning your blind ear, turning as if it never happened. British citizen, Mazị Nnamdi Kanu, a huge right of him was abused. His right was taken away from him. He was kidnapped, tortured, and renditioned to Nigeria without any court order, no court proceedings. Yet, the British up till today are still finding it difficult to make their stance known. Well, what I will say is, it has been made obvious that the life of a black man being a British citizen does not matter as long as it encroaches in British interest. Today, we are asking for what is ours, and it seems like your commissioner is going for what she wants, not what the people want. But the truth is, there is an elastic limit to everything. This 2023, enough is enough. We are up for our freedom. We are up for our destiny. As you cannot do the right thing, election is not the right thing. But as you cannot do the right thing, we will do the right thing. Wherever, however, whichever way, enough is enough. We, the Biafran people, are saying enough is enough. If you like, do anything about the case of Mazị Nnamdi Kanu. If you don't like, go ahead and start and be constituting nuisance as you are doing. But the truth is, a British citizen, a British national, living peacefully, obeying the law, was kidnapped and renditioned to a country where he does not have the passport to. Till today, the British has not been able to make a statement. The British has never been able to speak. The Nigerian court has even discharged and acquitted him since October last year, 2022. But till today, his right is ongoing, being threatened to the extent that we don't know how it is. But make no mistake, should anything happen to him, I don't need to spell the beans out, but should anything happen to him, then you will know that Sulugede Bwegundimo is the dance of the spirit. So, I will stop here. Thank you so much, Biafrans.
All right, thank you. That is a very quick one and a very wonderful speech you have made there. Thank you very much. Thank you again, Biafrans, for answering to this space. You made yourself available to be here. We have been here at least over 3 hours now speaking. I said earlier that this space would last for 2 hours, but when you hear what the wonderful speeches from Biafrans and the zeal, the passion that we have for this freedom, we don't really know when to end it and when not to do. So, okay, thank you very much again. Please, I will also plead everyone here. There is one of our members by name Emmanuel. He has been the one that used to transcript Simon Ekpa's broadcast. He transcribed it into writing. And for the past few months now, I think he was somehow robbed by pickpockets. So, and they made away with his cell phone. He stays in Iguasha. So they made away with his cell phone. And since then, he has not been able to continue his works. And he have not been coming to our meetings and all that. So please, anybody that can support him with a cell phone will be appreciated. You can inbox us if you can do so. Okay, thank you. And also, if you domicile in Biafra land and you believe you can be our reporter from there, any part of Biafra land, can be giving us reports of what is going on around your area. You can also come forward so that we talk it out and tell you how it goes. If you also in Biafra land, if you our posters of our no election posters, if it is not enough in your area yet, if you are not seeing the presence of our posters in your areas, if you can make it circulate in your areas, those places that you feel that they are not there yet, you can also come forward so that we do this thing, because the election they are talking about is in less than 24 days from now. So we have to put our hands together, put our heads together to make sure that people really got this information. Nobody will give excuse that they didn't hear or they didn't know about it. I believe our information have circulated, but we still have to make sure that all the posters of those politicians in our land is removed. All their campaign, everything, billboards, whatever we have to make sure that all those their presence is gone, is removed, and our own placed. Our own really have to domicile or dominate their own. So please, if you live in Biafra land and you believe in your area you have not seen the presence of those posters, you have means or maybe suggestion of how best it can be done, please, you can inbox us on WhatsApp, or inbox us through this page. Thank you very much. We will continue to bring on new topics as time goes on. Thank you. Ifeanyi, please use 1 minute to make your closing remark. After you, Sonny, then Simon, before we close down the space. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother, for that, for making it possible and giving us the privilege to be here to air our view and to also encourage Biafrans on our freedom quest. Then I want to tell us that the game is on and victory will be ours at the end of this whole thing. We are seeing the green light at the end of the tunnel. Nobody should get worried. Nobody should get deterred. We will also be coming on again by 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock or 5:30, as we continue the evangelism for the Biafra liberation. We're not going to get tired. We will give it to them, bomber to bomber, woto on this Twitter. Those that said they will not listen will listen, and those souls that is still caged will be liberated as we march into Biafra land. Thank you, my brothers, for coming around. My brother Abarawa, I would have loved to talk to you. I don't know if your Twitter handle is accessible, that I can send you private chat after this space. If it's possible, you can send me hi so that I can ask you. There's some questions I want to ask you. Please.
Thank you. Mazị Nnamdi, my Twitter handle is accessible. You can message me. Many people have been inboxing me, and I can reply to them. Thank you very much to the team of Biafran Writers of Conscience. I appreciate your works and your synergy and commitment and sacrifice, determination and the focus and concentration on the Biafran Restoration Mandate. I must appreciate you guys again in another way, because there are things you guys are doing which many people do not know. So I appreciate your team, and remain focused on the ball, because everyone are working in different dimensions, and all we want is a common interest, which is the restoration of Biafra. To every Biafran in the house, if you have not shared this space, please do so now before you leave, so that others can listen to it after now. We will try to rebroadcast it on YouTube and Facebook, so that people can also hear and know what you guys are doing. And to everyone that spoke, we appreciate your speeches and submissions. And to those that could not speak, which they longed for the mic, but there was no time, we are sorry. Next time, you may have the time. I want to conclude our meeting today by saying that, and let me draw it from where the last speaker spoke. A British contract or British company or British devil woman, your citizen who has UK passport with legitimacy in every ramifications. His business is there, his families are there, and everything he owns are there, and is contributing to your economy contributing to your growth, contributing to your GDP, and everything he is doing is just to make sure UK grows. He's even employing labor and also creating jobs for your UK country or contraption, as you call it. He was kidnapped. And need I remind you that he was not just kidnapped alone, he was kidnapped through your connivance with the Fulani terrorist government. So it is not something that is only the Fulani terrorist government that did. You are part and parcel of it, and you know about everything. But the one that beats our imagination is that when you come out and then you claim as if you're not aware, even when you were asked questions on the international media about what is UK doing about their citizen in the case of the Fulani terrorists, you ran away from the questions, that it is not important. You came there to discuss something else. So his life is not important. But the extension and the continuation of your slavery in one Nigeria, this one is very, very important for you. That is why you go every length to be begging and asking Biafrans to come and vote while their leader is in detention. You know, get shame. Your shame, even they shame me, because to say you get shame, you know, for even open mouth to talk again. Where they say, okay, our leader there inside detention, then you can't beg us. You didn't say our brain don't overknock, go reach the extent where we say, we they see fire. If they carry us, go put again inside fire, then we go see work, enter, go follow you. So, make una try another tactics, because this one no work. But thank you to Catriona Liang for making the international community and the entire one Nigeria and every tribe to understand that the Biafran people's voices and determination and focus to the Biafran mandate is speaking a very high volume. And you are recognizing it with this, your clamor of coming to beg everybody to come out and do elections. We are ready for no elections, and you people should come over. Another thing is that our spokesperson, the interim leader of this struggle, made an announcement yesterday, and people may not understand the implications. When you are fighting for freedom, it gets to a time where you don't allow the people oppressing you, the arsonists, to continue to be lynching you every day. That is what we have done. When you saw the message that he said, the armored tankers or the movement of the military personnel or anything one Nigeria mounting guards or taking control of our territory from 1st of February should hereby stopped. Take example from Ambazonia. I don't know if some of you follow it up. Can you tell me where you see military tankers or their patrol tank or their patrol vans patrolling in Ambazonian territory? No, you cannot see it. Why? Because they are taking control and taking charge of it. So that is one bold step that we are doing now, and they should take it very, very serious, because the madness and the radical rhythm which we are going into is something that people don't understand. We are ready for this freedom, and there is nothing anybody can do about it, because you can only grumble and then you can only jump into the nearest lagoon, and you can go and embrace the nearest transformer. And please make sure you go in between the two polarities that have the current flowing, so that you will be well electrocuted, because Biafrans are going home and there is nothing anyone can do about it. Thank you all for being in this space, and keep up the fire burning. There will much again.
Thank you, Abarawa Sonny, for that wonderful speech. Thank you. Please, the last comrade, Simon, please just make your last closing remark while we end this space. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And my thanks to everybody who has spoken on the space. My remark goes to the British High Commissioner and Catriona Liang. We know, we Biafrans are aware, that an attack on Nigeria is an attack on Britain. And an attack from Nigeria is also an attack from Britain. So, Britain is the one oppressing Nigeria. Secondly, Britain wants us to live like bees that produce the honey, but does not know the taste of the honey. But this generation has come to put a stop to it, and they should notice. Thirdly, we know that Europeans gathered in Berlin, Germany, 1884-1885, and decided the fate of Africa without any African being on the table. They put our map on the table and spread it like a pizza in a plate for their own interest. This thing has continued for decades, but we are telling them, people today, that with this move that Biafrans have decided to take, we are ending all of those conferences and all of those decades of slavery. We know that last year also, Britain sent snipers to come and do joint military training with Nigerian soldiers, knowing fully well that they have released Boko Haram and recruited them into the army. So indirectly, Britain is training
You may not
Nigeria
know what it is, but hackers do.
to keep their friends. Can anyone still hear me, please?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Okay. In other words, Britain knows that they are training terrorists in Nigeria, and they know what the terrorists are being used for. It is also used, they are also used for the interest of Britain. Today, you hear of Swiss chocolate, British chocolate, and all of that. And I ask a question, does Britain plant cocoa? Do they have cocoa in their land? No. But all of these treasures are coming from our land. And with this move, I encourage every Biafran to stick to it. Do everything you can to stick to this move and encourage it, support it by every means possible, so that at the end we will have cause to glorify God in heaven, and our glory will shine forth, and Biafra will be restored. Thank you, my fellow Biafrans.
All right, thank you, Simon. We can call it a day. Thank you, thank you, thank you from here.
Come get your kitty. Oh, yeah,